the Sikh community in Canada for 4 decades has been talking about foreign interference in Canada, India's interference in Canada. So I don't think we were shocked that it was actually happening because we've been raising those concerns ourselves. The manner in which it was done definitely was surprising. It brought forward some frustration as well, as it took the death of a Canadian Sikh leader, like a young, vibrant individual to actually bring this about. So where there was some, appreciation of the actual acknowledgement from the House floor, there was also a lot of frustration that just took a little bit too long here, where an individual was murdered by a foreign government on Canadian soil.
And you knew Hardeep Singh Nijjar, is that correct? You spoke at his funeral?
I was one of his closest friends. We worked together over 15 years within the Sikh Khalistan sovereignty movement. We've been, in leadership roles within the Sikh community in Canada for a long time. At a personal level, yes, we were very close. Our families were linked. So I knew him at a personal level and at like what we call a Panthik or a community level. And we were pretty much arm in arm for the last 15 years as we moved about. Last year, we were all approached, 5 of us in the Vancouver area of Canada were approached by national security in Canada that our lives were at risk and we were in imminent danger of assassination. That was a national security division, which only gets involved when there's a foreign hand in our country. It wasn't a localized matter. So at that time, many of us left our homes pretty much forcefully because we had minor children at home and we weren't allowed to stay at home. So we were kind of forcefully removed from our homes pending this danger that was to us. Hardeep was actually for a full year, while many of us were cleared and that was cleared, Hardeep was the only one that for a full year intelligence agencies in Canada were meeting with him, telling him his life was at risk, he was in danger, but nothing was actually provided in forms of protection or any type of support, leading to his murder and political assassination just 3 months ago. So that is stemming from last year, but it was a full year of these threats, these allegations, and Hardeep himself spoke very openly about the fact, up to 8 hours before his death, that he felt something was imminent. That he would be killed in this line of work and this community engagement that he was in. So it was definitely something that we were aware of. This year, after his death, we've been very vocal, very active, organizing the community, moving about to make sure that this doesn't fall on deaf ears. And I think 3 months after his death, with this declaration, it is an achievement after 40 years. It's just a little bit too late, it feels like.
India has dismissed Canada's claims and expelled a Canadian diplomat. Where do relations between the two countries go from here?
I think it's a natural tit for tat type situation in the geopolitics of the world right now. Canada very legitimately removed an individual that was deemed as India's intelligence head within Canada, Pavan Kumar Rai, and in a response that was almost like just laughable. India did the same thing and citing foreign interference on behalf of Canada for the first time. In Canada, at least in the 1980s, Indian diplomats were expelled. And since 2015-16, there's been multiple reports by security agencies actually showing India's involvement in foreign interference, all the way up to election interference as well in 2018 as a potential in a report that was given to all parliamentarians in Canada. And then up until June of 2023, just after Hardeep's death, one of the leaders of the Canadian security agencies actually declared that India was a foreign actor and interfering in Canada. And then that Hardeep's death as well. So there's a long history of what India has been doing in Canada, but the response really kind of shows the cold relation right now. The way Prime Minister Trudeau has been treated, and every time he's gone to India, the amount of pressure that's being exerted on countries like Canada, the United States, America, even Australia. There's a reason why after 2002 Gujarat genocide of Muslims, that Mr. Modi was actually banned from entering many foreign countries, including the United States of America, for potentially that genocide perpetration. So I think that has been looming over his head for decades now, and now when we see in the responsibility that he carries as the head of the Indian state, he is welcomed with open arms everywhere he goes. So his pushback is actually coming from a place of the power that the Indian state is trying to wield over other countries by using their trade, economy, and market in order to silence other countries. So we're very pleased with what Canada has done. It was a very difficult step to kind of do that and do it in Parliament as well. But I think the allegations against Mr. Modi have been there for 20 plus years, and action against him was taken as well. It's just that when you get into these positions of power, diplomacy and trade and everything else seems to unfortunately trump human rights.